superstores like Walmart and Kroger may be going by the wayside very soon. It turns out the best time to sample French croissants is when Paris is on fire, and the most evil CEO of all time that probably caused you to lose your job, or something like that. All that and more coming up. This is the show no one watches. My name is Jamie, and let's get into the first story. We'll start today with our top story, So Long Superstores, or so says DW Documentary. DW has a new video out called The Decline of Supermarkets, a Sector in Crisis. So long supermarkets? Says the thumbnail. And that is the question they ask in this video. What they do is they go over a lot of advancements going on in the grocery business and talk about some of the business side of things, consolidation, different countries, policies, e-commerce versus traditional grocery business. A lot of things that might sound a little bit boring on the face, but are going to impact the way you and I buy groceries across the globe forever. They talk about markets in China where their grocery stores are hyper-focused on additional information. They have QR codes next to everything, and you can scan it and find out way too much information, as well as reviews and other social data that's going along with this grocery shopping experience. And this specific scene is one that seems extremely dystopian to me, more than a lot of the other parts of the video. And it's not because it's in China, but it's because Chinese middle class seems so oblivious to the blatant consumer traps that they're falling into. They're just super stoked about literally anything consumerist. So it just looks weird in this one scene. They ask this lady if she likes shopping in this Chinese supermarket where it has like hyper amount of information. You scan everything with your phone and gives you reviews and social info, who else is buying the product, just too much info on grapes. And she's really happy that that much information is being provided for her because it helps her make a decision, she says. I don't think this is a super positive future for grocery stores. The one thing I do see that's pretty cool, but also scary, is the Amazon Fresh store. Specifically, they have a cart that totals up the stuff that's in it, a lot like you're shopping on Instacart, an online cart, where when something goes in, the total goes up and you can see exactly how much you're going to pay when you check out. So that there's no question. You don't have to do any tallying on your phone. That I like. What I don't like about that same feature is that it also knows exactly what you put in and take out of your cart, even if you don't buy it, and logs that. Pretty creepy. Not fucking cool. There's a lot of other stuff in this documentary. We highly recommend, if you eat and buy food, that you go check this out, because things are going to be changing in your local food mart, and this outlines a lot of different ways how it's going to change. The Decline of Supermarkets, a Sector in Crisis. Go watch it now. It's time for the next video. The next video that we want to talk about is called The Evil CEO That Elon Musk is Copying. And it's a video from More Perfect Union by FD Signifier and More Perfect Union. This video sheds light on the CEO who is the granddaddy of massive layoffs, offshoring, and every other thing that sucks about big and small companies in America and elsewhere. Everything that sucks about companies. Companies are focused solely on profit. Jack Welch opened nearly every door that we see today, from buybacks to layoffs to firing the lowest 10%, that's layoffs, the lowest performing 10%. They liken a lot of the mass layoffs you've seen in a lot of the large tech companies, some of the other large companies throughout the globe, to things that happened at GE that paved the way for them to do this by Jack Welch in the 80s. It's sort of astonishing how many people he laid off and some of the tactics he used, how ruthless they are, and the fact that they're still legal and being used today regularly by companies we think we might sort of like or need is terrifying. There's new Standard Oils out there. They're called Tesla, Google. GE's probably still one of them. They are just new robber barons ripping the nation and its citizens of their wealth. So you'll want to check this one out for sure. FD drops a ton of knowledge about this super shitty guy. Just to be honest, he is heralded as a business genius. In my opinion, he's just someone that gives no shits about anyone else and was willing to do things that are inhumane in order to see his stock price go up. Sort of despicable. Next video.
Hi, my name is Luis, and today
Best Croissant in Paris by Louis is a great video that goes over, well, exactly that. Louis looks like he went in the middle of some of the heaviest rioting in the recent Paris riots to go try out croissants. It's a very fun video. He legitimately reviews croissants, and I've never seen this guy before, but he's pretty hilarious. So I haven't checked out the rest of his channel, but if you want to watch sort of a offbeat video about him actually reviewing croissants in the middle of the Paris riots, he's very charismatic, and he says he's not French. I don't know what nationality he is. He sounds French-ish. Sorry, Lewis. But fantastic video. Right up my alley. Hopefully it's up yours. Let's go to the next one. Strong Towns is one of the best organizations out there focusing on urbanization. If you're logged into YouTube, you've probably seen the rise of urbanization content. Strong Towns is one of the front runners, and they are helping to reignite actual economic strength in cities and towns rather than spread out developments that go on forever and can't pay for themselves. What I mean by that is explained in It's Time to Rethink How We Measure Cities by Strong Towns. They talk about the fact that mixed use, taller buildings are just gotta be the way to go rather than these single family homes with massive lots and massive strip malls that can't actually pay for their own infrastructure. So I don't want to speak about it a lot more. It is something that they harp on quite often, a way that American cities, especially Canadian and some other Western nations around the country, is just not sustainable based on the tax base, essentially, based on the services that are needed to sustain those homes. They're not paying enough back in, and we're on borrowed time in a lot of cases. So this is something that I'm very passionate about. I've lived in the city, grew up in the suburbs, and I understand pretty well the situation at hand, how important it is that we use our land well and that we don't lock ourselves into a bunch of these dead malls, a bunch of these enormous strip malls that can't pay enough tax to support themselves, these massive Walmarts that are not even paying for what they're pillaging from the community. So check out Strong Towns. It's time to rethink how we measure cities so you can get re-educated on how your city should be building itself. Let's go to the next one. Do you remember MoviePass? I actually used to be a subscriber. I couldn't find my card. I looked for it for a while, but I used to be a MoviePass subscriber for about a year and a half. And I remember going to about 2 movies. That was their goal. They were trying to get a bunch of people that would sign up, get really excited, and then sort of like a gym membership, forget that they had it. In this video by the Wall Street Millennial called The MoviePass Fraud Explained, dives deep into some of the different reasons why MoviePass failed. I personally thought a lot of it had to do with their model. I figured a lot of people had signed up for $10 a month, which pays for about one, not even movie ticket, and then kept going to more movies, which they were allowed to do. If you don't know about MoviePass, you paid $10 a month and you could see unlimited movies. I think some were limited to about 1 or 2 a day. You could see at least 30 movies a month for that $10, and they had to foot the bill. So obviously there's some issues with that specific model, but some of the lies they told to keep things going in this that I can only call VC fraud are astonishing. The well is deep. If you have ever heard of MoviePass, you should check it out. If you were subscribed to MoviePass, you should definitely hit this video up, because some of the things they did to try and stay afloat are a little bit wild. MoviePass, I don't think will ever be a thing. At one point, they were charging about $40 a month to see unlimited movies, which I think may have worked, but as you'll see in the video, that was not good enough for them, and they had to drop the price and make some outrageous claims. So, go check the video out for yourself. RIP MoviePass. Let's move on to the clip of the day. Thank you so much for watching today. Subscribe to the channel so you don't lose it into the ether or off the edge of the earth. Comment down below if you want to join the conversation. Descriptions of most things will be in the description. And if you want to talk to us about anything, video suggestions, questions, comments, you can hit us up at roastmyjunk@gmail.com. We love you. Here's the clip of the day.
We fade in on a black and white video of a man in a tuxedo. He looks absolutely jacked. He's spinning around. Over the video is text that says, I pooped. I farted. I'm so scared. I'm gonna kill somebody.